and this is Rapunzel Fiber Arts. I am a knitter and a spinner and an all-around crafter, and this is my channel where I talk about some of my crafting adventures and exploits. Thank you for joining me today. So, if you've been around for the last couple videos, you know about my 2026 Stashdown, which is what it sounds like. I'm trying to work through my fiber stash, which includes not buying anything this year, which I have successfully adhered to, at least at this point. So that's, we'll take it. I'm still working on inventorying my entire stash. I'm getting so close. I still have my acrylic and a little bit of my cotton, and like a couple odds and ends, but that's about it. I just passed 500 like line items on Ravelry between my yarn stash and my fiber stash. So I've been doing a lot in the last month or two since we've chatted, but I'm still not quite there. I am getting there. Soon I will have a total of what I've been working from, but today, I want to talk about what I did in the month of January. It is no longer January. It is mid-February because January was stressful and chaotic, and the beginning of February was also pretty chaotic for me. So, I am now doing January. I will do February again at the end of this month. Hopefully, I will manage to stick to my one video a month schedule about the Stashdown. I might do an additional video here and there, but we'll see. So yeah, I want to show you all the stuff I worked on in the month of January. So the first project that I want to show you, I actually started a little bit before There's a goddamn moth. Stand by. Okay, well that was a super fun interlude to have just now. We'll see if I leave it in or if I edit it out. I hate moths, and I'm starting to see a couple, and it's freaking me out. Almost everything I have is in airtight bins and bags. See, I'm all anxious now because I saw a freaking moth. Killed it. We're good, but I keep seeing them. They're not in my traps. I'll check them again today, but like every time I check my traps, nada, but they're still fluttering around. Yeah, so everything's in bins and bags, which is good, except for like a couple whips. So I think it came out of my whip bag, which freaks me out. Hopefully we're good. As an adult, I will look for larvae and maybe bake this project. That's what I usually do. When in doubt, bake it, because that kills them. It does. And I have never, ever had it damage fiber. I have baked wool, silk, acrylic. This project I'm about to show you has sparkle in it. No issues. None whatsoever. When in doubt, bake your yarn. 170 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. Longer for cones. For cones, you want to do 1 hour per inch of radius. But yeah, hate moths. Hate that I keep seeing them, especially in February when I feel like they should all be hiding out somewhere. Okay, let's get back to business as usual. Let's get back to talking about my whips. Just a little hard when my heart is still racing a little bit because, mothy things. But let's talk about my whips. I forget what I was saying when the moth arrived. I think I was just about to start introducing this project. This is a little tangly. But this is a test knit that I'm working on for Celine Phaeton. I really like her patterns. I have test knit for her twice before this project, and I think her patterns are really clearly written and very beautiful. So I decided to do a test knit for her at the end of last year. I cast this on the 29th of December. And like I said earlier, it's currently mid-February. I'm a little further along than I was at the end of January, but I'll show you about where I was because I put a stitch marker on my project. So, anyway, this is going to be a cardigan. It's got a really pretty lace motif at the back, which is a little bit hard to see with the yarn that I'm using. I don't think I care. Because it looks really good regardless. Like, if I wear a nice dark shirt underneath this, I feel like it's gonna still pop the color work, or the lace really well. So this is how much I have. It is like past my bust at this point, which is good. I have about 2 months left of the test knit. The test knit is due March 27th. So yeah, we're like halfway through. I have like a month and a half to go. So I gotta buckle down and work on this and get at least one sleeve done. Hopefully both. Hopefully both. But this is pretty much what I did in January. And then you can see here, this red stitch marker is where I started in February. So I've only worked about an inch. But I'm doing the whole circumference of the sweater, minus the button band. So I'm okay with that. I worked a whole bunch in January. And hopefully I will continue to be working a whole bunch in February, because it's due at the end of March. So I gotta be cranking out my stockinette. It's only stockinette down here. The lace is only around like the collar area and the back as well. So that's been one of my main whips. I've made really good progress on it. I have decided to start, I should have done this from the beginning, but I have decided to start alternating skeins. Pretty much entirely because, let's see, about here down is pretty clearly lighter than the rest of the sweater so far. And I want to try to make it look a little more homogenized, a little more all the same, which it's not going to be perfect because it's a variegated skein that I'm working from, but I'm doing my best. So the yarn that I'm using for this is Ruby and Roses. I'm using a bunch of mini skeins, like 20-gram mini skeins, because she was like selling off, I think, 5 sets of these mini skeins. And I was like, that's enough for me to make something with. And didn't really think much past how much I liked the color. So I have a fair number more ends to weave in on this project than a normal project with like 100-gram skeins. But that's no big deal. I will just have more ends to weave in at the end of this project. It looks like I'll have enough yarn. I've used 2 of 5 100-gram packs. So yeah, hopefully. If not, I have some green I can do for like my cuffs and like the button band, maybe, or the button band and the bottom ribbing if I really have to. So maybe I'll do the sleeves next before I finish the body and see about that. But yeah, it's real cute. I'll put up like a picture of me trying it on a little bit earlier this month so that you can see what it looks like. I really like it. I love this yarn. It's called Spruce Grove and it's on her rose gold base. Hence the sparkles I was mentioning earlier. Hopefully you can see a little bit of sparkle in this fabric. But yeah, that's been my main whip for the beginning of the year. Mostly done in January with some done in February, but I really have to pick up the pace on this one. I've been doing a lot of spinning. That's a bit of a teaser for next month's update. I've done a lot of spinning. And I'm going to continue to do a lot of spinning this month because the last week of February is this this event called Spin Together. It's an online event, but I have a team that's local to me. So we're going to have a bunch of days where we go in and spin together or have virtual spin-ins. And I'm really excited for that. We hung out yesterday for fiber prep and fiber swap, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that, which is just Saturday at noon to Saturday at noon for the last week of February. So I have another week until then, but I'm really excited for that. So I'll have to buckle down with knitting this week so I can be buckling down with spinning the week after. So the next thing I worked on in January, I can't actually show you in person because it was a custom order that I made for an internet friend who wanted some very, very red bats so that she could spin them and make some hand spun yarn from some red fiber because she wanted like a specific shade. And I did, it's mostly merino and a teeny bit of silk. But it was mostly reds, a variety of reds, and then I had a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink, and a little bit of black and gray. And it looked really good. I'll put up some pictures so you can see what that was looking like when I sent it off to her. And she's already spinning it, which makes me really happy. I like when people are excited to work with stuff that I've sent them. So that was really exciting. But that doesn't actually count towards the Stashdown because I'm not counting my like business stash as part of my fiber stash. That might give you a little bit of a sense of how much I have. If I have 500 items and that doesn't include all of my shop inventory materials. Yeah, I have a lot, but I haven't bought anything yet. I've brought one thing home, but it was free, and I got rid of more stuff that day than I brought home, so yeah, that was yesterday at the fiber swap. But other than that, I've not acquired new things, or I've not spent money on new things. I got some yarn, but I had bought it in October last year, so it does not count. I did not spend money on it this year, it just arrived this year. Okay, anyway, one more project to show you. You probably, if you're a knitter, are aware of the Melt the Ice hat that has been incredibly popular on Ravelry and all over the internet. The first time I heard about it was from my boyfriend's dad, which was impressive to me that he had seen it, I think, before I had even... I don't think I had seen it like on the internet at all when he sent it to me. And I told him I would make him one, and I did, and it's right here. I started this on the 25th of January, and I finished it on the 3rd of February. So technically, this was not a January finished object, but it was mostly finished in January. I just needed to like finish the crown and the tassel. So this is the Melt the Ice hat. It is a pattern by Needle and Skein, which is a yarn shop, and all the proceeds go to helping immigrant families affected by ice, I believe, which, you know, good stuff. We'll definitely contribute some money to the pattern for that. So this is the exact same yarn as the sweater I'm wearing. It is a yarn by... I should have written this down, but I didn't, so now I have to pull it from my memory. No, I don't. It's in my bag. Hold on. Alright, so this is Jaegerspun is the brand. The yarn is Mainline, But I believe they are completely out of business. I thrifted this yarn. I got 5 cones of it, with each cone being about £1. So I have made this sweater, I have made this hat, and I plan to make a bunch more hats. And I also gave almost £1 to other knitters who wanted to make Melt the Ice hats. So I like packaged them and shipped them off to them, and they just had to pay for shipping so that they could get some nice red yarn to work with. It's 100% wool, doesn't specify what kind, and the colorway is Cinnabar. I really like this yarn. I've enjoyed working with it a lot. I have noticed on this sweater it's pilling a bit. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some significant pilling, especially on like the chest and belly. It's gotten better in the underarm, where like it's rubbed and then like come off, and so it's not pilling anymore there, which is good, I guess. So I hopefully, if I like de-pill the front of this, it'll not really get pilly again. So I have to do that. But other than that, I love this yarn. I think it'll be great for a bunch of hats because hats don't take as much abrasion as sweaters because they're on your head and not really moving, whereas sweaters you're always rubbing up against them. So this hat used 1.8 ounces and 170 yards of a Sport to DK weight yarn. I used the pattern as written for DK weight, but the yarn on Ravelry is technically a sport weight. This is not yet washed, so I do have to block this hat, but it's finished. Like, I just need to block it and give it to Alex's dad so that he can wear it. And then I have already gotten a couple orders from other family members who want one, and then I will expand that to my friend group and see who wants one until I'm either out of yarn or out of people I know who want ice hats or Melt the Ice hats. So that is all I have for you for the month of January. As mentioned, I have done some other stuff in February that you will see very shortly, hopefully in 2 weeks. It's February 14th today. Hopefully I'll be filming in 2 weeks or slightly thereafter. But I've been doing some spinning. I've been doing a little bit of spinning, and it's pretty, and I can't wait to tell you about it. But for now, that's it for January, and I will talk to you in a couple weeks, hopefully, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments about your stash, about which of these projects you're excited about, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care, have a great rest of your day, do some fun crafting, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends!